guys! Welcome to the hunt. So today we are at Gombe in the middle of the Western Ghats. Mekla is not here today, but we have with us Gauri, Varsha and Rashmi, and we are here today to study the Colitis ruxi, which is a forest lizard which is endemic to this area.
So we are here at Gombe. If all of you know or some of you might not know, this was the place where Malgudi Days was shot. It's such a amazing set of memories from our childhood that we are here now. And also Gombe is home to one of the most pristine rainforests of India and especially of the Western Ghats. Is home to the king cobra, which is the longest venomous snake in the world. And it's also home to a lot of other amazing creatures like the Malabar giant squirrel, the Travancore flying squirrel, and of course the dancing frog.
And a few of them we actually got to see on our night treks over here, which is really amazing. So as you can see here, this is like a beautiful place, and it's amazing to study the creatures that live here. And there's not really much of a human interference, so you can actually understand the real behavior.
Colitis ruxi is from the family Agamidae, and it's a dragon lizard. One of the dragon lizards can fly, that's the Draco lizard. But
which I think is the most iconic species of this family, is the Draco.
But the other one, the Colitis ruxi, is as interesting as Draco. It shows off some pretty amazing stuff.
And also I think a lot of you guys would have seen the common garden lizard, which is of the same genus but a different species. So Colitis is very similar to the common garden lizard that all of you see in your gardens. Fun fact, Colitis ruxi is termed so after a French painter and a biologist. His name was Roux, so it's also known as a Roux forest lizard.
Also, it's known as the forest bloodsucker, which is actually quite fascinating because its head turns like a real red and its body turns black during mating season, which we were really lucky to see.
But it doesn't suck blood. And you can tell the male from the female only during the breeding season. Otherwise, you can't really differentiate between the two.
And you'd be amazed to see how different the male Colitis looks outside the breeding season and during the breeding season.
And the stuff that it does to impress the female, the push-ups, the head bobbing.
Yes. Yeah. Or for all those of you boys who are watching this,
drop down and give me 20.
And it's an insectivore, so it eats ants and termites and sometimes flying insects also.
Yeah, so a lot of other creatures feed on the Colitis, like wine snakes, for example. The Colitis is a perfect meal for a wine snake. And also several birds of prey do eat these lizards, which is why they have such good camouflage. And they're really hard to spot. And we know because we spend the entire day looking for them through a jungle like this. Is quite a task, I must say.
Yeah.
and Colitis is one of the bravest lizards I have ever seen. Even if you go about a meter close to it, it does not move away.
So our time here has been really interesting and it's one of a kind really. We camped out in tents, so we could literally hear the sounds of the jungle. And in fact, I think a civet tried to enter our tent and you could feel it rustling and pushing on the sides of our tent, which is actually quite an interesting
He got
experience.
the authentic experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. So also on a more serious note, we have to preserve these forests and make sure they do not get converted into roads or human habitations or even agricultural fields for that matter of fact, because these creatures are extremely endemic. That is, they're only found here and nowhere else. So if these forests are gone, they don't have a home to stay in. So please think about it. And for all those of you who are watching this video, do come to Gombe Rainforest Research Station. They're doing amazing ecological research here. And if you guys are already subscribed to this channel, that means you guys are tremendously interested in wildlife. Do come, do support and like this video.
So for all of you bird lovers, it's an amazing place to bird watch. We went bird watching early in the morning and we saw a plethora of birds. We saw the
Malabar grey hornbill, we saw the woolly neck stork,
Which is actually quite fascinating to see it fly by. Yeah.
Then
we heard the whistling thrush so much.
Yes, it was mocking us all.
And finally saw it sleeping.
Finally.
Yes. So I guess for me the best part about this trip has been the night trails, when there is absolutely no light and there's all sorts of noises from the jungle and you're bravely walking through it. And this was the time where we saw most of the interesting animals that we actually saw during this trip. We saw a whistling thrush sleeping and we saw a squirrel glide. I mean, what can be more amazing than that?
So this is a reason why we need to preserve these forests which are getting degraded and fragmented so much.
Yes.
The kind of wildlife and the kind of fauna that you see here are so essential to our very being as well. The Western Ghats is a watershed for most of the west flowing rivers like the Tungabhadra, and we are really going to experience the effects if this region is affected or is commercialized, or even if there's a railway track passing through it. It's going to affect this ecosystem a lot. I hope you like this video. Our last video would be put somewhere here in the middle of the trees.
If you like this video, give it a thumbs up.
And subscribe.
And put your comments down in the section below.
Bye.